Assassin's Creed Origins was a step in the right direction. This franchise had been suffering from fatigue, and Origins really revamped almost every aspect of the gameplay experience. But even with these changes, Origins wasn't perfect, as clearly seen from critics, but as I said in my own review, it's a step in the right direction. Now with Origins past us, aside from some of the DLC coming from now to the early part of 2018, there's a huge question regarding what is next. Assassin's Creed is a franchise that has brought us to the French Revolution, the American Revolution, the Golden Age of piracy, the Victorian era, the Renaissance, the Third Crusade, most recently Ptolemaic Egypt, and so on and so forth. The point of mentioning all these time periods is that Assassin's Creed has explored a lot of history, but even with having a franchise that has tackled on multiple eras and lots of historical events, this has closed the door on returning to certain regions. Assassin's Creed Origins brought us to ancient Egypt, which was something completely different but also something fans long wished for. Some early leaks back in 2015 indicated that Bayek's story was being discussed to span 3 games and bring us to ancient Greece next, and then possibly Rome. The problem with that is, well, something that I need to discuss with spoilers from Assassin's Creed Origins, so you may want to skip ahead if you have not played this game yet. I'll leave a big fat spoiler word on the screen until I move past it. So now the problem is with how Assassin's Creed Origins wrapped up, because to be honest, the story is complete. We've explored Bayek and Aya, or well, Amunet's story. We do know some of the events that will transpire next, such as Amunet's killing of Cleopatra that was mentioned in Assassin's Creed 2, I believe. I'm sure someone could counter with, well, the ending of the game is just the beginning of the Assassin's Creed, so why can't we continue as Bayek or Amunet with a fresh new story? But the answer to that really lies with our modern day protagonist Layla, who seems to be our new permanent modern day protagonist moving forward. With the few scenes we do get with her, we find out at the ending she's leaving with William Miles to Alexandria in a helicopter, and what's next with her, well, we don't really know, but it seems pretty obvious that with her more than likely leaving the mummies of Bayek and Aya behind, that she will not be able to connect with them with her portable animus. That's not saying that we will not see Bayek and Aya again, but it more than likely closes the door on either one of them serving as a protagonist again. Personally, I wasn't much a fan of Bayek, but I did like Aya and really think she could have supported her own story in a sequel. Either way, what we know so far isn't much about this next installment. It does appear that the yearly releases are done for. This franchise is shifting to a release every other year, probably the next installment coming in 2019. So far, Assassin's Creed Origins has sold exceptionally well compared to Syndicate, so the choice of taking a year off was a smart choice, and probably will be the new normal moving forward. The only concrete detail that we know thus far is a Ubisoft developer leaking back in 2015 that Greece and Rome were being considered for a trilogy. Could that still happen? It sure could, but within Origins, Roman and Greece cultures and figures were heavily incorporated, so this either could have been a huge hint or a way to wrap everything together. I think some of the biggest things that Ubisoft accomplished with Origins was drawing the interest back, creating a never before done experience in this franchise, providing a modern day character that will be with us moving forward, and leaving the door open for whatever they wish to do next. One of the most requested settings for Assassin's Creed to tackle has been Japan. Back in 2012, Assassin's Creed 3 creative director Alex Hutchinson gave us our reason why we have yet to see a game set in Japan and Egypt. Remember, this is 2012. But what he said was, quote unquote, people on the internet suggest the most boring settings. The 3 most wanted are World War II, Feudal Japan, and Egypt. They're kind of the 3 worst settings for an Assassin's Creed game. Now, about 2 years later, Alex backtracked his earlier statement, clarifying his comments on Japan by saying, quote unquote, you could always do it, but the point I was trying to make was that in the broad strokes and scale of history, that's a theme that's been well mined into video games, he explains. So Assassin's Creed is one of those games that can take lesser known time periods or corners of the world and make them cool, fun, new, and refreshing. Feudal Japan would work as an Assassin's Creed game for sure, but I feel like it would start to look like, oh, have I already played this? You know what I mean. Oh, I've been a ninja before, I've been a samurai before. Obviously, since 2012, things have clearly changed at Ubisoft, and the quote boring unquote setting of Egypt was done remarkably well by Ashraf Ismail. The open world of Egypt was stunning and beautiful, but most of all, it felt different. And I think the same could be said about Japan. Earlier in this video, we discussed a leak where Ubisoft developers said that Greece and Rome were being considered for a trilogy, but they also gave the reason why we have yet to see Japan featured, saying, quote unquote, Heck if I know, everyone wants it, but I have no idea why they don't do it. The people in charge seem to think the mechanics don't work in that setting. I kind of understand though. You have to redesign the character and his or her controls from scratch. That means you cannot recycle animations and other systems. Every Assassin's Creed game is fucking expensive to make, so recycling is essential. Without it, other things will be sacrificed. So the last we heard was back in 2015 about the possibility of Japan. Well, now we need to fast forward to just days ago when John Bigorn, a concept artist at Ubisoft Montreal, revealed Assassin's Creed Japan concept art. This could indicate a few things. It could be the next game, it could also be part of a TV series, a smaller project, or maybe an idea that got scrapped. We really have no way of knowing for sure, and it certainly is evidence that Ubisoft flip-flops on what they wish to do. Years ago, Egypt was nothing more than a setting fans wished for, and Ubisoft apparently viewed it as too boring. But now we have Assassin's Creed Origins. It's also important to note Sucker Punch Games is developing their own Feudal Japan open world title, Ghost of Tsushima, so I'm not sure if this could impact the next Assassin's Creed. Either way, we will not know for quite some time what the next step is for Assassin's Creed, but it is interesting to think why Ubisoft allowed their artists to release Japan concept art. Over the years, many fans have believed that Ubisoft has purposely leaked things and given hints about their future titles, doing this as a sort of viral marketing, which makes me wonder if this could be the case with this artwork. And it's not like these are the only hints of Assassin's Creed going to Japan, as a specific image from Black Flag's art book featured teases at what would be Unity and Syndicate settings, but also included at a tease for a temple in Japan that we have yet to see in a game. Additionally, within the extras for the home release of the Assassin's Creed movie, a brief image appears with a series of coordinates, many of which link to locations featured in previous games, but one of these coordinates is for the same temple that is one of the oldest in Tokyo, Japan. In November of 2016, an eye-catching Easter egg was found within the new map Skyscraper that was added to Rainbow Six Siege. This Easter egg showed a samurai outfit with an Assassin's logo on it. Continuing on, we also have the Assassin's Creed head of content citing Edo, Japan as his favorite dream setting for this franchise. And there are many more examples, but you kinda get that this has long been teased at and has to happen sometime in the future. Anyway guys, what do you think should be the next step? Should we return as Bayek and continue his story into maybe Greece or Rome? Or should we get another protagonist and head to Japan? Or maybe we should get something completely different? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this video or found any informative value, make sure to smack that like button and consider subscribing for more videos on huge upcoming games, and I'll see you later.